This is going to be the most important video I've ever made. You may have noticed that my videos look different than other fish tube videos that you watch. You may not be able to precisely pinpoint what's different about them, but you can just tell that something's different. Well, I'm going to share some very personal information about why my cichlids tend to stick with you more, why I make my videos look the way they do, and why I even make them in the first place. I'm just going to be going back and forth between my tanks while I'm talking with you. Many times you'll see fish you're interested in, and when you do, just check the lower left corner because sometimes I'll give you the fish's personal name if he has one, along with his scientific or common name. So a viewer gave me the idea for this video. When I read it, I found it so compelling that I had to stop what I was doing. I was actually working on a different video at the time, and start writing this one. Yeah, I script all my videos because I can't be trusted to speak on my own without giving much thought and deliberation. If you've ever tried to talk to a camera, then you know it ain't easy. It also isn't easy to read a script and make it sound like you're just coming up with it as you go, but I can't even seem to put two words together without fucking it up. The clips where you see me talking, I have to shoot each one like 4 or 5 times, bare minimum. You didn't know that, did you? So I write it down and I hope it sounds natural. And I think I've managed pretty much to do that. Always room for improvement, of course, and I'm sure I'll look back a year from now and cringe at how bad these videos are. But I'm pretty happy with it for now. So my viewer described to me why my videos are different and why they're important. And it meant so much to me that I had to share it with you. So here goes. I've been keeping fish on and off since I was about 10 years old. My dad got me started with a little tiny tank, and I finally ended up with a 55-gallon. I had no idea what I was doing. A lot of fish died under my care. Lots of them. They'd see me coming and scramble as fast as possible to the other side of the tank, like when that dentist's daughter shows up in Finding Nemo. I just thought that's the way it goes. I didn't know when to do a water change. I never researched my fish. I just asked my dad. He knew everything. And his answers always sounded like he knew what he was talking about, but sometimes he didn't. No internet back then, so a lot of what we learned was just from talking to other fish keepers and people working in pet stores, or we made it up and then just eventually thought about it so much that we believed it because we forgot we made it up. We could use books back then, but I never did. Keeping fish taught me responsibility. I learned about different fish, and like I said, a lot of the information wasn't 100% true, but that's okay. I was expanding my horizons. And occasionally I'd give it up. I'd go years without a tank. But the hobby would gently come back and whisper in my ear, and I'd follow the voice and set up a new aquarium. I'm sure you've been there too, or at least had a similar experience. So fish were important to me and still are. I'm sure you get it by now after all this rambling. I was going to get rid of my only tank, a 75-gallon community fish tank, about 6 or 7 years ago because I was losing interest. I was busy and the community fish just weren't doing it for me anymore. If you know anything about me, then you know I like to try things, different fish and different setups, and many times it just doesn't feed my passion. So I rehome and I start over with something that has more promise. I almost did that with my Africans and Alcatraz in favor of Americans. I even made a video about it asking you if you thought I should. But I found a way to have both. That was just under 2 years ago when that happened. Well, I didn't get rid of that old 75-gallon tank, at least not right away, and instead I started my first cichlid tank. African cichlids, peacocks and haps. And the energy and passion I felt for the hobby was renewed. No, I wouldn't say actually renewed, because it was stronger than it had ever been. Revitalized. It was like a veil had been removed from my eyes, and I could finally see. These fish were amazing. Are amazing. I think amazing is an overused word, but it fits perfectly in this case. I decided to just post a few videos on YouTube eventually of my fish that I took on my phone. Just the fish, no overdubbing or anything. No one knew who I was, and I don't think I was even using the name Cichlid Charmer at that point. About a year later, a strange thought came to me. I was watching all these other fish tubers, and I thought, why don't I make real videos, like the folks at KG Tropicals or Caveman Kev? It can't be that hard, I thought. Well, it was that hard, believe me. I had so much to learn, and one of the things I had to learn was to not be ashamed of who I was. I thought I would be too boring and weird for anyone to actually want to watch my videos if I simply acted like myself. That's why if you watch my early videos until about a year ago, you see a different person on the screen. It isn't me. It's my body, but my personality is something I tried to conjure up to attract viewers. It seems really bizarre because that personality I came up with in those videos is really annoying. You'd see the gradual shift from being totally fake to being more genuine until I finally decided I'm just going to be myself and fuck everyone if they don't like it. I'm making these videos for you, but I'm also making them for me. They're my therapy. Don't get me wrong, I still need an actual therapist. You can't have as many personality disorders as I've had over the years and not need an actual therapist. But making these videos puts me in a safe, comfortable place. I feel absolutely wonderful piecing them together, getting the shots, taking them to my laboratory, and then assembling them all together like I'm Dr. Frankenstein. I mispronounced that on purpose, by the way. Let me know in the comments if you know why. I've only been seeing a therapist for about a year now, but I can tell you the difference it's made in how I think, and how I feel, and how I behave is phenomenal. Problems I've struggled with for my entire life, I finally understood where they came from and how they were controlling me. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but let me just say that I've made more personality and emotional advancements in the past 6 months than I have the entire rest of my life. I spent much of my life thinking I didn't even really have much emotion. I did things. I was a doer. But now I'm different. I'm flooded with emotion. If I don't cry at least once in 2 weeks, that's a pretty unusual thing for me. Emotion is powerful, and it's a great and wonderful thing if used properly. So how does that fit in my videos? That's where you come in. Like I said, creating my videos for the channel is like therapy for me. Therapy I actually get paid for. Sure, after the work I put into them, it's only like about $5 per hour, but I'm still getting paid to do something I love to do. But I also feel connections being made, and I'm all about connections. You're watching this now, and if you leave me a comment or send me an email, a new connection is being formed. Even if you don't, you might feel a connection with me. I want my videos to connect with you in a creative and emotional way, because making them is both creative and emotional for me. I want you to see the light in the tanks, and the light on my face. As a photographer, I mainly photograph people, not things. So even the lights I use when shooting me talking directly at the camera are designed to let the light fall on me like a blanket, leaving parts of me in shadow, signifying that there are secrets about me that you may never know. That's what I want when I shoot others, so why would it be any different with me as the subject? Did you notice the shallow depth of field when you see one of my beautiful cichlids and everything around him just blurs into oblivion? Smooth. We look at our fish at eye level most times, so I want you to look at my fish from a different perspective now and then, glancing up at their beauty, perhaps. I'll use a wide-angle lens to change the feel of it. Shifting and very smooth camera movements to keep your interest. I've laughed while I was putting my videos together, and I've cried while I was putting them together. And I want you to do the same. I want you to be out for a walk or a drive, and a random thought about something you saw in one of my videos makes you feel something. It probably won't make you laugh, I know, because only about 1% of the population, if even that, will get my humor. But if I can make you laugh, that's a powerful emotion. If I can make you cry, that's an even stronger one. It's not a weakness. It cleans out your mind and makes you stronger. If I can make you feel anything, then I call it a success. I have a really hard time remembering names, but I name most of my fish anyway, and many times I choose names that you've suggested for me. It makes you part of it. I feel a closer bond to my fish when they have names. I don't refer to my true parrot cichlid as a true parrot. I call him Buck. How would you feel about Percy if I just referred to him as my Oscar? Would my cichlid trash couple, Kevin and Sylvia, be nearly as interesting if they were just my Carpintus and my Salvini mating pair? Treating them like more than just livestock is what creates that connection. And I'll bet there's at least one fish in my tanks that you have a bond with, even though you've never seen him in person. I'm right, aren't I? Leave a comment with which one you're thinking of right now. I gotta tell you, even with all the drama going on with Alcatraz, with that never-ending virus that's going on in there, and other illnesses and injuries that come up from time to time, it's always easy for me to just get lost in the tank that you're looking at right now. San Quentin is so far above and beyond what I'd hoped it would be. And I had really high hopes for it, so that's saying something. With the new inmates, my vision is coming to life more than ever. And it's not just a well-curated selection of incredible fish in here, although there are some really amazing ones full of character and even intelligence. Sometimes I think Percy is more intelligent than I am, and honestly, I'm pretty sure he thinks so too. No, it's more than that. A loyal viewer recently told me that my videos elicit a feeling of softness, smoothness, relaxing and deep. And these are all feelings I get when I'm standing in front of San Quentin. Feelings I try to plant inside you as I create my videos. The perfectly placed song that I spent an hour searching for to complement the story. A well-lit and clean aquarium I'm capturing with my professional camera and the professional lens I bought, not for my photography business, but just for you. I want the sight of my fish to not only cause you to experience my beautiful nutjob cichlids, but to feel something. Because that's what stays. I want you to be swept away when you watch these wonderful fish. Let your worldly problems dissolve into nothing. Remembering moments of your life is great, but you never really will remember the details just like they happened. The more times you remember it, the more it changes. And eventually, you're going to be remembering something that never even happened. Those memories will fade with time and just become wisps that disappear, getting swept away with wings as if on a gentle current. What really stays with you are the feelings those memories give you. Those stick, and they usually are accurate, even after many years have passed. You could be 80 or 90 years old and still remember the feeling that saturated you after your first kiss. Those feelings are what keep you warm at night, comfort you, and sometimes without even understanding why, bring a tear to your eye, or fill your heart with overwhelming joy. Sometimes they're the only thing that motivates us to place one foot in front of the other and keep our chin up when all we want to do is lie down and die. Without feelings, we are nothing. So when I was out of touch with my feelings, that's what I felt like. Nothing. I was a black hole. When you come here and join me with my fish, I want you to be filled with the beauty of the fish and hopefully the beauty of the video production and the lighthearted, humorous commentary as well. Let it overtake you and fill you with warmth. I want you to conjure that feeling when things get overwhelming for you and let it cradle you. This may seem like a bit much from a fish tuber, but it's the truth. I often find myself feeling like I haven't done enough to help others, that I haven't touched people in a meaningful way. I'm an introvert, so it's hard for me to make connections. I'm sure we all feel like that sometimes. Well, it's my hope that these videos will help you, touch your heart, make you feel. There's really nothing more or better for which I could hope. Well, now you know. I appreciate you and thank you for watching. Until next time, that's going to be a wrap.